Welcome to Alternatives to AA. This is Joshua Robinson, and I've been 3 years sober.
And I'm Monique Robinson, and I'm 2 years sober. And we're here on a mission to help make the difficult journey of sobriety even easier to manage. Nobody in my world ever thought that I'd actually manage to be sober. So now we're taking what we've learned in the last decade to be able to help you too.
And we're not against AA. We just need to learn how to manage the other 23 hours of the day. From communication to relationships to self-care, we're going to show you how to cope when your triggers try to take you down.
Join us every Monday at 6 p.m. to uncover not only how to live without alcohol, but to thrive in sobriety and to swap out your addiction for a better life with the help of Alternatives to AA. So let's go.
But physically, I felt young and great. Like I should be.
Yeah.
And actually ended up going to therapy for the first time ever. And I was like, I drive a shitty car. It breaks down every other fucking week. I'm making $40,000 a year. And at the end of the month, I have $20 in my bank account. How many years is this going to go on for?
Yeah.
I feel worthless. He told me, why are you worried about driving a 20-year-old car? It's like, because nobody else drives 20-year-old cars. I feel like people are looking at me and judging me because I can't afford a new car. And what it turned out to be was I had really, really low self-confidence. Because why should I care what anybody thinks of what kind of car I'm driving? Like I used to go out on like a date and be like, she's not going to want to go out on a second date with me because I drive a 20-year-old car. And you know what? That wasn't true.
Yeah.
They never gave a shit. So it was all in here.
Yeah.
And so what I realized from going to do that therapy was that like, if I was going to get out of this situation, I needed to move on. So I got another job, better job. I got my new car.
Yeah.
I was at a job where I was actually doing what I went to school for, which I liked, and I felt better. Just those two things.
Yeah.
But I could still be working at that place, making like maybe $50,000 now.
Yeah.
Which from 40 to 50,000 in a 10-year span.
Same difference.
It doesn't mean shit because you want to be promoted.
Yeah.
And sometimes the best way to be promoted is to go find a new job.
Yeah.
And that's what I did. Even though it was an hour away, I felt better about myself because I had accomplished something. And we were talking before about how you feel like you're not like, I've always felt like I'm not worthy. So I was depressed about not being worthy enough and thinking that I was just going to be working that same job. And it got me really pissed off basically enough to go talk to somebody about it.
Yeah.
And that made me reanalyze and it helped.
Yeah. If you just stayed there. Like
I would have
just given up kind of thing.
Yeah. Like you're driving into work and you're like, I fucking hate my life.
Yeah.
And I already have anxiety as it is.
Yeah.
So it would really overrun me. So, and then I would drink at night and I would feel better.
Yeah. And your 20s, like,
that's what sucked about it.
Yeah. Anyone listening that's in their 20s, like that's, that happens all the time.
All the time.
That's the years of like discovery and kind of, at least to some extent. So it's typical. You're not going to get out of college and be making $100K right away. Unless, you went to like Princeton or something.
You could have a degree from Clemson or be a bricklayer. The most money is going to go to the guy who works the hardest. You could walk into a job interview and say, yeah, I have an accounting degree from Clemson. But if you're a shitty accountant,
especially long term, like maybe short term, that's not always the case, but long term, whoever works the hardest.
But if a guy who is a bricklayer opens up a bricklaying business,
if it's his own business
and he makes his own money, my point is you don't need a college degree.
No.
But people think that with a college degree, you can just walk in and say, here's my degree. I'll take $100,000, please.
No.
It doesn't work that way. And now we've flooded the market with people with college degrees, so nobody even cares if you have a college degree now. They don't even give a shit.
Now you need more than you need like
you need to have a master's at least.
Yeah. Yeah.
To even walk in the door anywhere. And if you ever read like a intro position or like a job, they want everybody to have like 5 to 8 years of experience and they want to pay them $40,000.
Yep.
What?
That's crazy.
And they write down all this stuff that you got to do.
Yeah.
And then you get that job and you don't do anything like that. Even what the thing says on the paper, you don't even do it.
Or then you're doing stuff that is not on the paper.
Yeah. Because in reality, yeah, they don't care.
Whatever needs
Nobody
to be
cares.
done, here you go.
So that's why, like, when you could say that with relationships too. If you find a good job,
Mhm.
you might think the grass is greener
Mm.
at another job. You say you're making 80 grand and you get an offer from somebody to make 90.
Mhm.
Like, I make 90 grand now.
We don't know what's involved.
Your
You don't
boss
know.
might be a prick.
Yeah.
And then you're going to go, man, I wish I kind of was still working back at that other place because everyone loved me and I loved them.
Yeah.
And the extra 10 grand at the end of the month is like take home.
Mhm.
There's like another $500,
Yeah.
which you're just going to spend anyway because now you're going to buy yourself a new shoes and you're going to go out with your significant other to dinner more.
Yeah.
Like, you're not going to take that $500 and you might go buy a new car. Now you just ate up that $500. Now you're living the same life, but your boss is a dick.
Yeah.
But you drive a nice shiny car to work.
Congrats.
Same thing with relationship.
Yeah.
Well, my boyfriend's an asshole to me.
Mm.
I'm going to leave him. Or a guy did it to a girl, either way. And you go leave, single for a little while, you start dating somebody else. Or if you're a real asshole, you'll just jump right into another relationship. And it sucks.
Mm.
It's worse. Because you didn't know this person as well as you knew the other person. And you're like, can I come back, please? It's like, no, you can't come back.
Nope.
Sorry it sucks, but job offers off the table.
Yeah. You already quit.
You quit. You quit and you had another job. You had a job lined up before you even quit this one.
Yeah.
So good luck with that. Maybe you'll find another one.
Yeah, life is, full of different choices, and the choices you make, can totally change things so strongly, right? Like,
I say it's a house of cards.
yeah.
Every level you go up,
Mm.
the harder
Yeah,
the house falls.
because it's like a video game, so like you're on a harder level or whatever difficulty, and yeah, so exactly, like you make one little mistake, and
one mistake. Yeah, one bullet kills
Yeah.
you instead of 3.
exactly.
And you get angry because you're like, why did I do this to myself? Why did I want to beat it on hard?
Yeah.
No, that's funny. And that's the way I've described things to people. If you're a loser and you have nothing, you got nothing to lose.
Mm.
You have a shitty job. You don't care. You got bad friends. You don't do anything with your life. You're high all the time. Like, if you fuck up, whatever.
But
if you have a family,
Mm.
you have 3 kids, you have a wife, you have a house, you got a vacation house, you got nice cars, and that house is getting bigger, that house of cards, and somebody fucks something up and pulls the bottom out, it all comes crashing down.
yeah,
Now your life in an instant goes from this way that it was, and then in a millisecond, it's different.
yeah. No, I agree.
You got to sell the house, you got to divorce your wife, you got to figure out how you're going to see your kids again.
Yeah,
And now you got to sell the home, move out, and now the family that you had because of one fuck up.
yeah. And I was gonna say, like, the opposite of that's true too, like, because most people have probably been a loser to some extent.
Yeah,
Like,
it's fun to be a loser sometimes.
Yeah, so even though that sucks, there's a lot of upside. Like, if you got your shit together, you could be in a whole nother kind of lifestyle within a couple years. So, like, that's the positive spin on it, right? It's like, that's how it was, like, for me, like 4 years ago. I was literally like, about to not even be able to afford rent and stuff, and now it's a lot different. But you got to put in the time, and you got to actually want a better life, and you got to not want that not responsibility of being the loser.
Well, I could fuck my life up really. I could do it in many ways. I know how I can do it too.
Yeah.
I could, I have a son, who is the most important thing in the whole world to me. I could go to the liquor store right now. I could buy a bottle of vodka. I could drink half of it and then go for a drive. I could do that. I could intentionally crash my car or unintentionally. But I mean, if I was going to purposely fuck my life up. And now I have DUI. I'm in jail. Now I can't see my kid anymore. I don't have a job now because I'm in jail. That's one way to really fuck your life up. You know, relating to this podcast.
Yeah.
You can go drink and damn near kill yourself. I mean, dude, there's people that drive sober and accidentally run over a cyclist on the side of the road.
Yeah.
I know somebody that happened to. He was driving to work one day, and there was a guy riding his bike. It was like 6 a.m., like in like the winter time, so it was still dark outside.
Yeah.
And he was on like an exit ramp, and the guy was in the shoulder, but he was like on the line almost.
Yeah.
And he was just kind of, you know how you kind of cut the corner?
Yeah.
Killed the dude. And he was sober. So accidentally killing somebody while you're drunk.
Yeah.
Where I grew up, this guy on Halloween, he was so drunk, he like sideswiped like 6 cars in a row.
Oh, Jesus.
Right in front of my house.
Just that were parked.
Yeah. Dude went to jail.
Yeah.
He was dressed up like Santa Claus.
Like that movie Bad Santa.
Yeah. Yeah, so you can intentionally, I could just not show up to work on Monday.
Yeah.
Stop going.
Yeah. I don't want to do that.
Some people do that.
Yeah.
They have no plan, but they just say, I'm not going back there.
And sometimes that might not be that bad. So they had part of it right.
Yeah.
Right? They're like, my job.
Sorry, I got
That's all right.
This is sitting up right here.
This isn't like working for me, but then they didn't think out the other part.
Yeah, there's no foresight.
So it's like, maybe quit your job, but maybe try to find another one in the meantime or something. So you're not just like,
yeah. Well, my reference to was like the importance of the things that you do.
Mm-hmm.
Like a lot of people, they'll get drunk and they'll sleep through their alarm. I did that one time. I felt fucking terrible. I was so mad at myself. I slept until like 10 o'clock. And thank God my boss wasn't in that day.
Yeah.
I woke up at 9:45. Supposed to be there at 9. I woke up at 9:45. People are like asking where I am. This is the only time this has ever happened.
Yeah.
It never happened again. And I called. He's like, you're good, Brian. You know, so-and-so's not even here today. Don't worry. Take your time. I was like, I'm so fucking mad at myself. I can't fucking believe I did this. And it wasn't that I slept through my alarm. I never said it. Because usually I'll wake up, you know.
Yeah.
But I was probably fucked up. Sure I was. I'm sure I was. And I felt awful about it.
But now with not drinking, then
I mean, that was like 4 years ago.
Yeah, but I'm just saying, like, now you
that was when I was going through a really, really hard time in life. The harder the times, the harder you drink.
Yeah, that's true. That is true. And then if you're going through a hard time and you know, like me and Monique have been going through some hard stuff. Like just, you know, I thought I was going back to jail for a while, all that for like a whole year back and forth. That definitely made me want to drink. But from like,
I honestly, as a former drinker,
yeah,
and I don't like the term alcoholic.
Yeah, ex-alcoholic or former drinker.
I don't like that term because it implies that you have a problem. And the problem is not that your body needs it. Every time you drink, you're doing it.
Yeah.
You know, some people maybe, you know, they can't help themselves. But if all the alcohol in the world is poured down the drain tomorrow, you wouldn't be able to drink. Yeah, but I give you credit for not, because I fucking would have.
Yeah,
I would have been drowning myself every day until that day came that I found out that I was either going or not.
Yeah, because you want to.
I would not have been able to deal with that.
Yeah, and the only reason like why I didn't is because what I do every time I feel like I want to drink, which you said, like when times are worse, it definitely pops in your head way more.
You know it's going to give you relief. You just know it.
Yeah, but the whole thing, I'm like, okay, I can have this short-term relief, but then I'm going to have way more long-term pain. So I look at it as like, I could have one or two, or even like a whole day or two of pleasure or not thinking about stuff. But then I'm going to fuck up my life. Like for me, like I just tell myself, even though it's not true, like within a couple weeks if I was doing it, but I'm going to fuck up my life forever. And that's kind of how it actually is. Cause I was sober for like 4 years at one point and I started drinking. I fucked up my whole life again.
Yeah.
Within a month.
Yeah.
And I was like building it up. Great. 1 month took away 4 years of like the good I was doing. It's
Progress.
crazy. Yeah. So fuck that shit. That's all I gotta say about that.
Yeah. No, it's definitely, and I agree.
Like you're saying about the House of Cards thing, it's like that the alcohol is
If
almost
you-
like a.
Trying to think what I want to say. There have been times when I want to drink, but then I'm like, I know that it'll go off the rails because I'm so upset. Like I might just, and I don't ever leave my house. You know, I'm not one of those. I don't drink and go out.
Yeah.
Because I know that there's consequences out there.
Yeah. You're okay in your own house.
I'm okay sitting on my couch, but like,
You might trip on something.
I know I have to. Yeah, I slammed my head off the wall one time.
Yeah.
I literally was sitting there drinking, watching a movie. Was just hanging out, just getting more buzzed as the night went on. And I was like, I need to go to bed. And I stood up and my legs were like jelly. And I slammed my head off the wall. And I was like, holy shit, what the hell just happened?
Did you cut yourself?
No, I just went to bed. I didn't knock myself out, thankfully.
Yeah.
I knock myself out and wake up on the floor. That would have been... People do it, though.
Yeah.
But the next day I was like, how did I get into my bed? And I was like, okay, that was really bad. Yeah. Could you imagine if I was in like New York City? That fucked up.
Oh, you mean like walking the streets?
If I was out. Oh, that's what I mean. Like out there are consequences.
Yeah.
If I got that drunk at a bar, I'd be sleeping in the fucking park.
Yeah. I've done that one time. I passed out.
Did you?
Like I passed out I was in Florida and like we went to this like club or whatever and the girl I was with started dancing with some other girl, or some other guy.
I was going to say, that sounds nice.
Some other guy, like, and I was just so pissed. I'm like, I'm walking to the beach. The beach is like 20-minute walk from the college in Palm Beach.
Uh-huh.
And like I'm walking, it's like, like 2:00 in the morning, and there was some palm trees or whatever, and I just like passed out. Then woke up like, like at 10 a.m. It's like that kind of stuff is so embarrassing when you think about it. Yeah. But it's kind of funny, but it's like...
Of course, it's hilarious.
But
because you're telling me that story, I'm fucking cracking up.
But at the same time, it's really like sad and like...
Scary.
Yeah, it's like I was going to a good college, but I was like pretty much that day like a home, like a bum. I wake up, it's 10 o'clock.
And you wouldn't sleep on a palm tree sober.
Yeah. So,
but it is a funny story.
Yeah, I wanted to make it to the beach, but didn't get there.
Could you imagine if you tried to go swimming?
Oh my god! Yeah, that's a scary thought.
The ocean at night is like the scariest thing in the world.
Well, I have a story about that really quick. I was on a sailboat with my dad, and we went to this island where the captain said, "Oh, anyone can drink whatever they want. Like it's free. I'm paying for it."
Mm-hmm.
So there was a kid that was like similar age to me, so we just started drinking like crazy. Just like fuck yeah, we had like 20 plus drinks, and I blacked out like you were talking about.
Yeah.
Next thing you know, I'm getting dragged off the island because like they were scared that I was gonna impregnate this chick. So yeah, it was like, I don't know. I was blacked out. Like, I don't know. Like there's a girl that I met there, and like I guess, but we were like in public doing it, so they like dragged me off. They're like, get the fuck off. So anyway, like I get back on the boat. My dad bought me a hat. He's like, "Here's a hat I bought you." I said, "Fuck your hat." But what I was gonna get to is I was calling my brother later on that night, like on the top, and it's freezing cold out, and I almost fell off. I almost fell off the ship, and if you fall off in those you're dead within 30 seconds because it's so cold. It was in by Vermont.
Oh shit! Yeah.
So yeah, like you're saying, like
your muscles literally cease to work.
Yeah,
and you just sink.
I almost tipped over. I like grabbed the handles, but there's so many times when we talk about the drinking stories when you almost died and you're like,
yeah, and you'll
survived. You kind of think it's cool, like, haha, I survived, but at the same time, it's like,
but if you kill yourself,
not funny.
Wouldn't be too funny.
No.
I got into an argument, drunken argument, and was pissed, and left the house, and I was like, God, so stupid. God, why are we so stupid? I was like, I haven't had enough of this fight.
Oh, you went back?
So I went back inside, and I slammed the door open.
Yeah.
And the door, like, it didn't open up into a room. It opened up to a wall. And the door, I was like walking through the door as I pushed it open, and it bounced off the wall. And I had like put my hands up to catch the door because now I'm literally through the door.
Yeah.
And my arm went through the glass window.
Yeah.
And I have a nice...
Oh, yeah.
And I was like, well, I can't go to the hospital now. So I wrapped it up and I went to the hospital the next day.
Yeah.
And that was the first time I really like... And I have it every day. There it is.
It's a good reminder.
Good reminder. Didn't kill myself.
Yeah.
Could have fucking bled out maybe if it was worse. What if I cut my fucking muscle open?
Yep. Once you do that,
right now I'm getting like anxiety just thinking about that. But that's how stupid it is.
Yeah.
And the argument stopped.
Yeah.
Now I'm bleeding. And now we're fine. But it's like, that's the kind of shit that can happen. Like falling off of a boat.
Yeah.
Getting cut. Or that story I told you before about that lady who killed her fucking husband.
Yeah.
You're having a fight. There's a gun in the house. Bad news.
Yeah.
And you're drunk.
Yeah. So,
it's like when when you're in arguments like that, you're like constantly trying to one up each other. It's like, well, you did that. Well, you did that. Well, fuck you. Well, fuck you too. You know.
And then the gun comes out.
And then, dude, I mean, I've heard some devastating like 911 calls because I used to be really into like true crime stuff.
Yeah.
Podcasts and shit a few years ago. And it was getting depressing for me to listen to because these people's lives are changing. This dude fucking, oh my God. I don't even want to say it, but I'm gonna. This dude was mad that his girlfriend was going to leave him for another man. And they had like a 2-month-old. And he put the gun to the 2-month-old's head to make the girl not leave. And he fucking blew the fucking kid's head off, basically. And the 911 call is of him saying, I can't believe I just did this. I'm going to kill myself. And he did on the phone because he shot his infant son in the head because his girlfriend was going to leave him and they got into a fight about it.
Yeah.
Now not 2 lives are ruined. 2 lives are over. The girlfriend's distraught. Now he can't even believe what he just did. He kills himself. And now there's all this collateral damage of families. And I mean, it even affected me.
Yeah. And then
I thought about that for like weeks. I couldn't listen to that shit anymore.
Yeah.
It's out there if you want to listen to it. But
depressing.
It's fucking depressing.
And then like it seems, who knows, but most likely he was drinking.
Absolutely.
Know? It's just like you just
absolutely,
like just so upset. Oh, I'm gonna have a couple of shots, and next thing you know, he's shooting his 2-month-old.
Well, if you leave me, I'm gonna.
Yeah, and then just did it. Wow.
I know it's real life. It happened.
Yeah.
It sucks. I try to remember the guy's name. But yeah, alcohol can lead to literally ruining your life.
Yeah.
I mean, there's people in jail right now for life for doing something they probably wouldn't have done had they not been intoxicated or fucked up on something. You could be drunk and high on meth or whatever other shit you're on.
Yeah.
It doesn't have to just be alcohol, but it's definitely probably one of the factors.
Yeah, and alcohol is just the easiest to get, and it's almost ruined my life literally probably 2 or 3 times. So that's why when I want one drink, I say, nope, don't want to ruin my life today.
Well, because you know it's a possibility.
I know it's actually, like, for me, maybe it's a possibility, but in my mind, it's eventuality.
Yeah, it's like a definite.
Yeah, it would eventually ruin, because that's what happened every time. Like, I was like, oh, I've been 4 years sober. I can drink again.
Just have one.
Yeah. And then next thing you know, literally like a week later, drinking every day. 2 months later, getting a car crash, and then all that kind of stupid shit. And it's just not good. And everyone has their, not everyone gets that bad, but for me, that's how bad it got. And I just never want to get back to that place.
Well, one of the reasons I started was because I lived alone. And it became my friend.
Yeah. That connection.
I'm going to hang out with my buddy Alcohol tonight.
Jack Daniels.
Seriously. Yeah, that's what it would be.
Yeah.
That was like my glass of my friend for the night. Because when you live alone, some people, they're just social drinkers.
Yeah.
I don't think I would have a problem with that now because mentally I'm not in that place anymore. It's the coming home alone after you've been out in the world all day. You make dinner. Why not? 1 turns to 2, turns to 3 to 4.
Yeah.
It's like, it kills your loneliness a little bit.
Yeah. No, I get that.
Because when I get lonely, I get really lonely. And I'm an only child, so I can occupy myself a lot, But sometimes you just like, I really need some interaction, somebody around me, But it was always there in the cabinet or in the fridge.
Yeah.
Ready to be my friend for the day.
Yeah.
A lot of people have compared it to that. That's where I get that from. It's like you have a relationship with it.
Yeah, I've heard people say
have a relationship with alcohol. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because that's what it becomes, such a integral part of your brain chemistry. It's like you love somebody, you want to be around them all the fucking time, especially in the beginning, and then they leave and you're like, it just stops all of a sudden. So if you stop drinking cold turkey, all of a sudden you're like, kind of miss my buddy.
Yeah, you have to fill that connection
with something,
with like, community or just other things. But yeah, it is like when you stop drinking, it is a loss. So it's not like this isn't all fun, right? It's like a huge chunk, especially if you're a big drinker, a huge chunk of yourself is being lost. But like, like Jordan Peterson says, that's dead wood, and that needs to be, burnt off. It hurts, but it's good. So like the true you and the best you can survive.
Yeah.
But it definitely sucks because, like you're saying, I just wanted to say that the relationship thing is so true, because when me and Monique were first dating, we were both trying to stop drinking because we knew it was ruining our lives. But it doesn't happen overnight. And I would like stop for a week or something, and then I call Monique up because we weren't living together, and I'd hear like, oh, she's drunk. And I would feel like I was like some other chick or some other guy was like fucking her. That's how bad it was.
Why would you think that?
Because I felt like she was cheating on our.
Oh, like mentally. I thought you were like, she was answering the phone and you thought physically there was a guy there.
No, mentally, I felt like cheated on.
Betrayed.
Because, I see how it is. You're going to be with alcohol today instead of me.
Yeah.
And dude,
it was like a betrayal.
Yeah. So then what I would do, I said, I'm going to get with alcohol too. And then I'd get drunk.
Yeah.
And this went on.
Fuck you.
Yeah. This went on for like a couple months, but until we both said, hey, like, if we're going to actually be together, we both have to be sober, because if we're not, like, we're just hurting each other, you know? So
no, I agree.
Yeah.
I didn't get what you mean now.
Yeah. It was very interesting, but I literally felt like I was like being cheated on, and it was not pleasant, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense, actually. I never looked at it like that.
Yeah. Because like you said, like before Monique, a long time, my relationship was just with alcohol. I was by myself, you know, in Upper Black Eddy, just chilling, in the woods and drinking all the time. And then Monique came into my life, and that was the new relationship, but it was back and forth for a little bit. Like it was kind of like a love triangle.
Right.
And sometimes I would be with Monique, other times I'd be with alcohol. But
other times both.
Yeah, but that doesn't work.
Yeah.
You know, like you can't do that. So like that's why when people, if they have trouble with alcohol and they're both drinking, they're not going to have that solid relationship until it's just them, but just the one person and the other. Because if they're mad at each other, I'm going to go for alcohol, F you, and then you're like, what are you're just going to leave me here by myself?
Yeah.
You know?
Or like we were saying before too, like you both are drinking together and you're having a blast.
Yeah. And then
it's so fun. And then one person says something that may not even have been intentional. It may not even have meant anything. You're just having fun.
Yeah.
And now you're in a fight.
But why is that though? Like,
I don't know.
I don't know what that is.
I wish I knew.
Is that I wonder if it's because you both know that you shouldn't be doing it, or is it
no? It's that you don't care.
Yeah, I just don't care.
I don't dance, but I will dance in my kitchen if I'm fucked up.
So I
don't sing.
So you just start a fight just to start a fight.
What I mean is that there's no inhibition anymore.
Yeah.
And when you cut out that ambition, you're controlled only by your emotions. So when you're happy, you're really happy.
Yeah.
When you're pissed, you're really pissed.
Yeah.
When you drive your car, you drive fast.
It's amplified.
Everything gets amplified.
Yeah.
When you're fucking, it's the best sex you've ever had.
I would disagree. But
well, it's certainly more freeing. I'll say that. But you'll do shit that you wouldn't normally do.
Nasty stuff. Yeah, no, for sure. Like, oh yeah, put it in my butt.
Not my butt.
Yeah.
But yeah,
that's the girl saying that. I'm not. I don't play that weirdness.
No,
egging or whatever.
But yeah, you'll yeah. You'll do shit that you wouldn't do on a Sunday morning.
Yeah.
Let's put it that way.
I got what you're saying, for sure.
But you will punch your boyfriend in the face.
Yeah. Just because it's an impulse. You're not even thinking
I'm
about
mad.
it sometimes.
Fuck you.
Yeah.
And the only thing that's going to get me to feel better about how pissed I am at you right now is to hit you.
Yeah. There's no self-control.
Because that's the peak, right? You have like mental abuse, you have physical abuse, or you have like mental abuse, verbal abuse, which I guess that's not really mental abuse. They're separate to me. Mental abuse, verbal abuse, totally different.
Really?
And then physical. And that's the peak. Because what else is there besides somebody killing you, right?
Yeah.
Or killing them.
But it's interesting though, because
so you'll do the highest level of the thing that you can do.
Yeah.
Which is to get physical.
Yeah.
You know, I've never put my hands on anybody before, but I have had my hands put on me.
Yeah. No, and then from there, where do you go? Right? It's just like once.
Well, now you've crossed that threshold.
Mm-hmm. So then there's literally nowhere else to go.
Where do you go from there?
There's nowhere. And then
don't put your fucking hands on me.
Yeah, exactly.
It's not acceptable. And if I put my hands on somebody, I'm fucking in jail.
Yeah.
So I would never do that.
Yeah, like
you want to retaliate, but you can't. I mean, I'm not going to, I never got in a fight in my whole life. Being physical with people in that way is just never how I was. Even in like grade school through high school, people want to fight. I'm like, I would be the kid running the other direction, you know?
I was the guy that would tell the bullies to stop. Like
the peacemaker.
Yeah.
Well, nobody really disliked me, but you get on like a little scuffle in the football field at recess or whatever, and I would just, I'll fucking kick your ass, bro. I'm like, think I'm gonna go over here. I don't think so. I was never somebody who would like stand up to a fight like that.
Yeah.
Because now you're both gonna be. It's just not gonna end well.
Yeah, I don't know. Sometimes I try to get like I never want to get into a fight, but if I see injustice happening, I'll jump in.
Oh, in that case, yeah,
yeah. So
if it comes to family,
yeah,
or something, especially my son, I'll string you up by your ankles and torture your ass. That's how much you will love your child.
Yeah.
I mean, there's been cases of that, but like. As far as like original point of like drinking and like getting into fights with people, would that issue that you just had with them, would you have had it sober? Would you have brought it up in a different way? Or would they still have been mad at you? Would you still have gotten into a fight?
Mm.
I don't like it when you do this.
Mm.
It makes me feel this way. What can we do to fix that?
Yeah.
And then instead of saying, okay, sweetheart, sweetie pie, I didn't know that.
Mm.
Let's work through this together. Maybe they'll still say, fuck you.
Yeah.
Just when they're drunk.
But at least you're opening up the communication.
Sober.
Yeah, sober. And
But if they're not capable of that communication while sober, and then this shit has been swirling around in their head for a couple weeks,
comes all out
it just comes out, oh, fuck you, I don't care what you fucking think.
Yeah.
And now you're in this room. You were in one room before where you're happy, and now you're here, and everybody's pissed.
Yeah, like what happened?
I'm gonna call the fucking cops. Like, don't do that. Now you got a real problem.
Yeah.
Why? Because we're screaming at each other. It's just it doesn't go to a good place.
Yeah, that's.
But would you have had that fight sober? Is my question.
No.
Would it have been a fight? Would you have been able to talk about it?
If you're two reasonable people, then you should be able to at least talk about it to some extent.
I think while intoxicated, you could probably talk about it reasonably.
Probably.
But when one person raises their voice,
it's just
now
not.
You do.
It's just not the best, probably, because you might forget certain parts of it.
Yeah, well, when you're in the middle of a fight, you often will black out, not from the booze, but from the trauma.
Yeah, or
you don't even remember what you say.
Yeah.
Like 2-3 days later, you'd be like, what were we fighting about the other day? Why were we so mad?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, they're just like...
You don't even know.
Yeah. You just kind of like for me, a couple of times when I've been really angry, like my vision starts to close and I don't know what's going on around me. It's like hyper focused. It's only happened a couple of times, but it's like, has it ever happened to you? Like when you're so like frustrated that everything around you just like ceases to exist?
Not when angry.
Not when angry.
But when there's like a intense moment, definitely.
Yeah.
Like when you have to walk out onto a platform and squat 470 pounds.
Yeah.
Your job doesn't matter.
Mm.
The 50, 100 people sitting in the crowd, they don't matter. Where you are, how you got there, doesn't matter.
Mm.
So you get this tunnel vision. You can't even hear what people are saying.
Yeah.
Like I fucked up my first meet. I wasn't listening to the guy tell me to squat.
Yeah.
I just heard some noise from the side and I thought that he said squat. And after I was done, I was like, oh, fuck that. I know I failed that lift.
Yeah.
I fucked it up because I was so hyper focused on doing one thing. And that was bending down and standing back up.
Yeah.
And then if you hit like the smelling salts or whatever, you really forget about everything. And then after that intense moment is over, your clarity comes back and it's like you go from this to everything just opens back up again.
So that was another thing that I want to talk about in regards to being sober for like a month and a half. Like,
sorry, I keep stretching.
That's okay.
Sorry, everybody.
Of the clarity.
Yeah.
Like for me, like after a year, it really got more clear, which is a blessing and a curse because then you're upset like, oh my God, I didn't realize all this stuff around me. Just like, even just like visual and then mental too. Like, oh man, like this is messed up. This is messed up. But like, have you had any like more clarity as you've been sober or?
My life is still pretty much the same. Clarity, I don't know.
Yeah.
Ask me in 4 months.
Yeah, sometimes it takes a long time for me, I was fully like aware of everything.
Actually, I have.
Okay.
I have been dealing with a situation that I'm not going to go into, but that you know well. And I was accepting what was going on as normal because I was drinking to cover up the pain that I was going through in that situation.
Yeah.
I was covering it up. And I felt betrayed and I felt like life was unfair and I felt like my life's fallen apart. But I stopped drinking. And after about 2 or 3 weeks, I started to gain back a little bit of my self-worth. Like while it was going on and I was drinking, I felt worthless. Even though I was going to work, I was going to the gym, I was covering up all this anguish with a fucking smile on my face.
Yeah.
I realized after about 3 or 4 weeks that my thoughts were true about how I was feeling. And I'm worth more than what I was going through and how I was being treated. So I became more honest with myself. And it also took a lot of, talking. We've talked about this extensively, but I'm not going to go into it because it's personal. But as far as the not drinking goes, I've gained a lot more clarity and perspective on what I deserve in my life and what I should expect. So I should not deal with, and nobody should, by the way, being treated in a way that's not best for you. And covering it up by drinking, being like, okay, well, I'm going to forget about this for tonight. Fuck it.
Doesn't make it go away.
No, it doesn't go away because you're just going to wake up the next day and still have to deal with it. So it has really helped me to gain a lot of perspective by not drinking and not, it gave me a more honest perspective on myself and my own worth, So even though the situation fucking blows hard, it's not something that I now, with the clarity that I'm feeling, should be accepting of, I've just come to better terms with it pretty much.
Yeah.
And when you're stuck in a bubble of like it could be any relationship. It could be a spouse. It could be a girlfriend. It could be your mom. It could be your dad. It could be your shitty brother. It doesn't matter. Your shitty sister.
You allow certain things to happen.
you get perspective from yourself, and then you get perspective from the outside. It's like, dude, why are you letting your dad fucking treat you that way?
Yeah.
It's like, well, I don't know. This is just how he treats me.
Yeah.
And so you drink to like get over it, not think about it. And then you stop and you're like, you know what? Yeah. 3-4 weeks goes by, you gain clarity, and you're like, I don't have to fucking deal with that.
Yeah.
I don't deserve that shit.
Mm.
And that's kind of where I, without giving too many details, it's like, that's where I have realized a little bit more self-worth for myself. I know it sounds like word salad. I'm just trying to work through it in my mind, how to say it. But, yeah. It's probably given me more clarity on like the realities of life, you know?
Yeah. No, that's awesome.
Shit sucks sometimes.
So it's like, it's hard.
And you can't cover up the suckiness by drinking your fucking nights away.
No, it just makes it suckier long term.
Yeah, because the next day you wake up and you're like,
and it just keeps the suck train
I think
going.
I'm going to take a shot. I'm really hungover. That'll help me. I mean, I can't tell you how many times I've done that.
Yeah.
You're just like, well, it's Saturday. I don't have to go to the gym today. And I feel like trash right now.
Yeah.
I'll just get started now.
Yeah. So that's interesting, though. So you're saying that it actually increased your self-worth.
Well, totally.
So that's awesome. Like, yeah, I would.
And accomplishing what I did a couple weeks ago, like my personal accomplishment, you know, I still came in third place.
Yeah.
There's a lot of fucking strong people there.
Yeah.
But as a personal accomplishment, not drinking, seeing what it did for my energy levels, my strength, and all that. And then the mental clarity that came with it. Feels so good.
Oh, yeah. So, yeah, we'll see you next time, guys. All right. Bye.
Thanks for listening to Alternatives to AA. If you would like to contact us directly, please shoot us an email at alternatives2aa2021@gmail.com. We also hope that you continue to join us on Mondays at 6 p.m. You can watch us live on YouTube. You can subscribe to us that way as well. You can leave us a 5-star rating and follow us on Spotify. And if you're on Apple Podcasts, we ask that you please leave a rating and an honest review.
We'll see you next week. Bye.